All right, we in. We live. What's up, everybody?
Man, what's popping? It should tell you how many people in there too, like viewing and shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's still, you know how it be. They gotta
Yeah,
load up.
it's gonna take us like a little second. You're gonna start to see that shit filled up.
Big homie Kev Postman, ready to listen to some beats. Yeah.
They in here.
Nope, not yet.
Yeah, but there's also a delay, so it look like nobody's in here, but there'll be people in that motherfucker.
Okay. What's up, everybody?
You got the questions loaded up on the other side?
Yeah, there ain't no questions over there yet, though.
Oh, okay. Shit,
Okay.
man.
There we go. How they coming in?
Yeah. It'll take a little bit.
What's good? That boy Chubb. What's happening with you? Neil 6'4". What's going on? Talk to me. Let me know you're here.
I'm sitting out the glass now, so this shit starts filling up.
What's good? What's good? Wait
So,
for some people to get here, man.
shout out to everybody. What's good, Neil 64, Sonic 241. Damn, I gotta get the fuck up out of here. All right. Shout out to everybody, man. I know this shit finna be a cold ass stream. Sorry, everybody, I got to roll out for y'all recording and y'all in here now. I got a meeting, important meeting I gotta go to. But Kev gonna hold it down. You know what I'm saying? The big homie Kev. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the big homie, so he can take care. He can hold the show down. You got any questions, holla at him. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man, it's the king of beat making. So if y'all got beat making questions, how to get better, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to be asking questions and getting them answers from big homie Kev. Listen, whatever he tell you whatever he tell you, just listen to it and watch your beats get better.
Yeah, so we in here, man. I'm getting ready to go right into it. Start listening to beats. So send your beats in. No links, no none of that. Send your beats in so we can get to listening to these beats.
Beyond the beat, broadcast your beats at gmail.com if y'all want to know where to send them.
Yeah. Broadcast your beats at gmail.com.
What's good, Jimmy?
So we in here, man. Getting ready to go to the first beat. I'm gonna wait like another minute, and I'm gonna go right into it. Start listening to these beats, man.
How do I come up with my own original sound as a producer? They coming up with new questions already, Kev.
Okay, how do you come up with your own original sound? First of all, I would say don't copy what's out right now. That's the first thing. You know, I mean, a lot of music producers, even myself when I started, you know, a lot of music producers go and you hear what's out and you go and make a bunch of beats here, you know, based on what's out right now. That's the first mistake. So how to create your own sound, you know, by investing into things and pulling from things that keep you inspired. Period. That's all you really got to do. That's all you got to do. And, you know, like practice, stay on top of it. Stay on top of it. Listen to different genres of music. I like to do that. I like to listen to, you know, like country music, rock music. I mean, just different types of music. Listening to different types of music, listening to their beat arrangements, listening to their sounds, to their drum patterns, to their melodies, to their instruments. You end up picking up different things and start creating your own type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, that's kind of how I always talk about Timbaland. Timbaland did that exact same thing. He went and, you know, ventured and hooked up with some other people, learned some different things, brought it back. Now he has his own sound. So, you know, I would say do some research, listen to all genres of music, and, you know, you'll end up finding yourself, man. You'll end up finding yourself. So I'm about to get right into the first beat. As we all know, Postman had to run out. You know, it's just a big homie. And, you know, we all just going to be here chilling. You know, I'm going to listen to a few beats, and we're going to get right into it. So what's up with you, Big C Music? I see you, baby. What's happening with you? Remember, send your beats in. Send your beats in. Make sure that you send your beats in. The Gmail is broadcastyourbeats@gmail.com. Send your beats in. All right, so I'm about to get right into the first beat. Let's see what it is. It's from Carl Thornton. What up, Carl Thornton? Let's see what you got.
From the east.
Okay, Carl. I see you, you know. I like, you know, I think you got something hot going on. You know what I'm saying? I think you got something hot going on. What I would say is, you know, like, try to get more creative with it, though. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like a trap banger. You know what I'm saying? I see what area you was trying to go to. I see exactly where you were going with it. But try to create your own form of a trap beat. Don't try to make it sound like anything else that's out there. I mean, you know, everything sounded banging. I mean, you know, I would get different drum sounds, you know, mess around with other different packs and stuff like that, loop packs, to be able to inspire you to create and pull from different things. That's the most important thing, man, when it comes to making these beats, you know, the type of beats that, you know, get major placements, television placements. I mean, that's why we all here, right? It's to live off our music. So shout out to you, what's your name again? Carl Thornton. Shout out to you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, my brother. Shout out for submitting the beat. So let me go to the next one. This one is Cavy. Hopefully I, you know, didn't kill your name right there. Cavy. Let's see what it is. Okay, Cavy. Okay, Cavy. I like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I like what you're doing. That's actually a banger. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like how you structure your melodies. I'm still a fan of lots of different transitions. So, you know, I would always say add more transitions, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you don't want to sound exactly like what's out right now. I mean, you know, it's a banging track. Everything sounded dope in it, but it also sounds like something that's out already, or there's something that has been out. You know, no diss, just, you know, like you want to always stand out. Always stand out. Do what you can to stand out. As soon as you start to make something that sounds like something, you know, you can keep it for these artists on the internet that's buying beats all day. But when it comes to getting placements, like, you know, you want to take your time and start to pull from different things. You know, create your own sound, baby. That's what this is about. Create your own sound. Shout out to Obviously Exclusive. What's up with you, fam? I see you. So, but Cavy, that was a banger, though. You know what I'm saying? That was a banger. I mean, you know, I'm not saying that wasn't a banger, but, you know, you want to, you know, we know that you can do that. So create something that's out of your thinking zone. Create something different than you've ever created before. And, you know, try to break the beat down a little bit more, too. So let's go to the next one. Kavon White. Let's see what it is. Kavon White. He got a beat called Underground Dreams. Let's see what it is. Okay, Kavon White, I see what you're doing, man. I see what you got going on. You know, you got a nice thing going on. I mean, I would actually try to update my instruments, though. Try to update my instruments a little bit because, you know, you want to use instruments that are, you know, you want to be as futuristic as you can with your music. Be as futuristic as you can because, like, A&Rs, when you start getting into sending music to A&Rs, they don't give you 15 seconds to listen to anything. It has to grab them off the top. And for me, that track, I mean, you know, it was a cool track. It was a solid track, but it didn't grab me. I felt like, you know, I can tell that, you know, you've been making beats for, you know, maybe a year, almost 2 years, maybe under 3 years. So, you know, keep digging in, keep doing what you're doing, but update those drums, first of all. Update the drums. You know, try some other melodies. I can tell that you play a little bit. So just keep doing what you're doing because with practice, you're gonna have your, you know, you're gonna have something dope going on. So that's Kavon White. Let's go to the next one. Rico Orley. Let's see what it is. Rico Orley. Okay, Rico, I see what you got going on, man. You first of all, I like how you transition the beat from the way it was in the beginning to, you know, how you transition. I like how you did that. But like the last producer, I feel like you need to update your sounds a little bit. You know, you might want to update your sounds a little bit because some of the sounds kind of sound dated a little bit, especially like some of the drum sounds. You know, you don't want to submit beats and any of your sound dated. You got to try to, I mean, like, that's the whole thing about creating your own sound, right? Is creating something that might have, you know, like something that someone can say, you know, I've never heard that before. I've never heard that before. Like, we all know that there's trap music. We all know that there's R&B. We all know that there's pop. We got to figure out a way to stand out, create, like literally have your own lane and stay in your own lane. And see, every music producer on this right now has something on the inside that you just, I mean, like, how to create your own sound, that means that you just haven't touched it yet. But, you know, you on your way there, though. You're on your way there. Now, back to Rico, you know, keep practicing, keep doing what you know, keep doing your thing. I can tell that, you know, you've been making beats for, you know, a little while, not that long. So keep doing what you're doing. Update your drums. You know, watch your mixes. Make sure that your mixes are right. But you are on target with your transitions, though. You are on target with your transitions. So let's see. Young Illa. Let's see what it is. No sample. Don't need no help. Okay, let's see what it is. Okay, Young Illa. Okay, that's a banger. That's a banger. That's a banger. I like how you broke everything down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, your drums, everything is banging. I mean, my apologies if you can't hear the bass. I can hear all the bass and everything over here. Everything was banging. I like how you work the sounds. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I still would say, you know, it does sound like, you know, you've been creating beats a little bit longer because you definitely know what to do. But always don't be afraid to go in a place that is different for yourself. Never be afraid to do that. Like, try different chords and try other different things to bring out something different in your music that you've never brought out before. And I mean, but, you know, that was a banger, certified banger. I mean, you get my approval on that one. So let's see what it is. Lee Green. Let's see what it is. He got a track called Dark Knight. Let's see what it is. Okay, I see what you're doing. Lee Green, I see what you're doing. I would say, you know, that's a solid beat. You know, everything sounds great. The sound quality of it, everything sounds good. I would, you know, it definitely sounds like a track that would be perfect for like television and film. You know what I'm saying? One of those type of tracks. I would actually, you know, study my, you know, beat arrangements a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like get creative. Like literally take people on a journey. Take like when the listener presses play and your track is playing, they should be like literally on a sound journey that just takes them somewhere. Like it builds up, it comes back down, the drums break down, the drums come back, some different drums come in. Like, you know, like start spending more time on your tracks. you know, that's something that I feel like all of us music producers should be doing, spending more time on our tracks. Like, you know, I'm gonna play a couple tracks later on too, just to, you know, kind of show you exactly how to get on that journey. So now, just like last week, we got hundreds of beats in here. So, you know, I'm not gonna be able to get to everybody, but let's see. Braden Torres. Let's see what it is. He got a track called Stacks on Deck. Let's see. Hey, Braden, hey, that's a certified banger, man. That's a banger. I mean, just straight up, that's a banger. I mean, you know, you got all of the elements there, man. I mean, that's a banger. I mean, you know, straight up. I like how you did everything on there. I like how you got the snare rolls and all that happening. That's a banger. That's a banger, straight up. I would say that, you know, like, it would have been dope if you would have, like, after, like before you went to that, like right after that 8-bar phrase, after, like, I'm assuming your chorus part, like if you would have had like another 8 bars or another 4 bars, kind of going somewhere else, and then going right back into the 8 bars where the verse starts. I mean, you know, I always preach transitions, but, you know, straight up, that's a banger. That was a banger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got nothing. That was a banger. So let's see. Wesley Kelly. Let's see. And I'm telling you, we got hundreds of beats in here. Okay. Wesley Kelly sent me an email with no beats in it. Okay, so I can't play your beats. Let me see. Bobbert H. Let's see what it is. Okay, World Signature, World Signature Beats. Man, first of all, I like the intro. And really, honestly, after the intro, I thought something crazy was getting ready to come. Like, you really set it up to where I was excited. And then when the 8 bars dropped, I mean, it dropped. I mean, so, you know, and I'm not clowning you, but, you know, first thing I will say to you is update your drums. You know what I'm saying? You definitely got you got the mind. I mean, you got the arrangement. I mean, you know, because the actual arrangement, going into the arrangement, you know, you broke everything down, but you broke it too far down. Like, I mean, I would have still kept it banging a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you never want to have your intro be the best part of your beat. You never want to have that. You want to have the intro lead into something that's crazy. Because literally, I mean, when I heard your intro, I thought something crazy was coming. And it kind of broke really all the way down. And the drums, for me, was like real thin and real weak sounding. So you want to update your drums. You want to do that. Listen, all music producers, see, you want to make sure that you work on your beat arrangements. Now, your beat arrangements comes from you taking time to create your music. When you sit and just create beats and just send them off, it shows. You know what I'm saying? But when you spend time, like when you have breakdowns and you have certain transitions and you have certain things going on in your music that takes the listener on a journey, you can tell, okay, man, this dude been worked on this track for, you know, maybe a couple days, maybe even a week. I have tracks that I've been working on for months that I'm still not done with. And that's because, I mean, in my mind, I want to make sure that everything is perfect and make sure that every time you submit something that is perfect to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you know. But I would say update your drums, man. I mean, and then also I could tell that, you know, you've been making beats for not that long too. So just keep with it. Keep with it. Keep doing what you're doing though. Shout out to you for submitting. Okay. Julian Johnson. Let's see what it is, man. Coast Bang. Let's see what it is. Okay, Julian Johnson, I see you. I see what you're doing. You know, very, very big sounding track. I mean, I see the feel you were going for. You know, that anthem type of, you know, track. I feel that your drums need a little bit of work though. You know what I'm saying? You might want to work on your drums. You might want to work on your drum patterns. Make sure that your drum patterns are, like, how can I explain it? Like drum patterns, like as a producer, it seems easy to just put a kick and a snare together, right? But see, there's a certain science to that. Like, in order to have certain things and certain percussions and certain things in the background going on to where your kick and your snare can be simple. Your beat can even be simple. But your drum pattern has to stand out. And for me, that drum pattern, I mean, you know, it could have used a little bit of work. It could have used a little bit of work. I mean, I say update your drums because that clap sounded a little bit, it sounded a little dated. And I mean, you know, I would, you know, work on my drum sounds, work on my, you know, I can tell that you play a little bit. That's always good. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, keep practicing, keep updating your chords, and, you know, try to, if you start the beat with 2 to 3 different chord patterns, have another section in the beat where the chord patterns change, where it's a different chord pattern, but keep it in the same key. Make sure everything stays in the same key. And if you play, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, you know, shout out to you for submitting, but keep doing what you're doing, brother. Now, we'll see what this is. All right, Daryl Fuller. What's up, Daryl? Focus on beats. That's the homie. Okay, I press play and nothing happened. Okay. The beat ain't playing, bro. Okay. Okay, focus on beats. I see what you're doing, homie. I actually, you know, and I told you this before, I'm a fan of your intros, man. Your intros is crazy. They sound like movie intros. And I mean, I'm a fan of what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You know, the drums were solid. I always like how you transition your music, but make sure that in your transition, you don't go far off, because when you start to go a little bit off, then, you know, you start to confuse songwriters or, you know, singers, you know what I'm saying? Especially so, like when you vision your songs, I mean, I don't know if you made that track, but that track sounds like it'll be perfect for television. And, you know, I mean, it sounds like somebody could bust over that too. You know, somebody could rap and kill that up. But you want to make sure that when you go to those second, you know, that second chord change that you went to, that little transition part, I would have probably went somewhere else. And I mean, that's just my preference. That's not saying something is wrong with the beat, you know. So it was a banger, though. It was a banger. So let's go to the next one. Thomas Woods. Let's see what it is. Thomas Woods. One of your weird beats.
Some memories are buried deep inside and can never be forgotten. Extra bolts and curtains over the door. It's starting.
Okay. First of all, the intro was a little bit too long. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, the intro was way too long. I'm assuming that, you know, you've been making beats for, you know, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. I mean, because like that track literally had like no structure. And I see in the email that you put, this is one of your weird tracks. And I mean, and yes, it is one of your weird tracks, but you want to send something that, you don't want to send a weird track in. You want to send something that you want real, you know, something that you really feel positive about, something that you feel good about. That way, when you get your critique, you can go back and you can fix what it is that, you know, we showed you to fix. You don't want to submit nothing weird, man. I mean, I feel you was just submitting stuff and, you know, and all that's cool, but now you don't really learn nothing from that, you know, because you know it was weird. I know it was weird. Everybody that was listening to it know it was weird. And I mean, it really had no structure. So, you know, work on your beat patterns, your melodies, your drums. I mean, you know, you got a lot of work to do, but keep doing what you're doing. Shout out for submitting. But I will say, don't submit anything weird, something that you think is weird. Like submit something that, you know, that you feel is fire. So you can learn. I mean, you know, hopefully you understand that. So, Mr. Griffin, let's see what it is. Popular demand. Okay, it's telling me to download. I don't know. I ain't trying to download nothing. All right. Okay, I can't play your music. I can't play yours. Okay. Jimmy, the homie Jimmy. Shout out to Jimmy. I just talked to Jimmy. What's up with you? That was that Okay, Jimmy. I see what you got going on. That's definitely, you know, I mean, that's a banger. That's a banger. I mean, I like how you structured everything. It has like that big professional sound. It was engineered good. I would say update your drums a little bit though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the drums, they sat in a good place in the mix. And, you know, because I know you're an engineer, I would update, you know, my drums just a little bit more, because you wanna make sure that kick and that snare comes with, you know, just that it thump just a little bit harder. Now, I'm not taking away from your sound quality. Your sound quality was great. And also, I would have liked to hear, you know, maybe it's because I didn't listen long enough, but I would have liked to hear it, like, you know, transition or either break all the way down or break down a little bit more. Now, when you break down into your verses, try to like make that first 8 bars be almost butt naked, bare. You know what I'm saying? Like literally take some of your instruments out and, you know, like have maybe one instrument in there. And then, you know, and then start to gradually bring and even break the drums down. You know what I'm saying? Like never have the same drum pattern go throughout the whole track and then just mute the drums. You know what I'm saying? You want to, you know, mute different things, because certain combinations and certain things, certain instruments that you've used will sound dope by themselves. You just got to take it out to hear what it sound like. But, you know, overall track, good job. You know what I'm saying? Good job. Good job. Okay, Antoine Wallace. Let's see what it is. I sent in 2 beats. I need. Okay, Antoine, you didn't attach no beats, bro. You didn't attach no beats to the email. Let's see what A Dot got going on. A Dot. Okay, I would say A Dot, that, you know, for me, it was a little boring. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, you want to kind of change it up a little bit. You want to, you know, like the track started one way and it kept going the same way. You know what I'm saying? You want to change that up a little bit. You don't want, I mean, it was a nice feel. It was nice. It was almost like a Jill Scott kind of Erykah Badu type of feel. You know what I'm saying? I always like those type of beats. You know what I'm saying? But see, you still want to have those beats break down, literally. And that's when you start pulling a producer out of you, when you start, you know, studying beat arrangements and all that type of stuff. So, you know, keep going. Keep going. Shout out to you for submitting. All right, Mr. Griffin. Let's see what it is. Popular demand. Okay, I see what you're doing, Mr. Griffin. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're doing. I mean, I will keep working. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was a banger. Everything sounded good. You know, you got all the sonics and everything together. I will get a little bit more creative with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, everything sounded good. You know, you have like a certain feel and a certain, you know, type of feel that you was going for, and everything sounded good, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, just continue to get as creative as you can, as creative as you can, you know. I mean, and I'm gonna always say that, because I mean, you just, that's the way that you creating your own sound, is like literally you creating something that comes from you, like from you, something nobody else would have done because it came from you. So, you know, shout out to you for submitting. And then I had a question up here that I saw. That's a real good question. Elijah Stroud, shout out to my brother. Okay, you now the question says, you say transitions, but what about having a beat that adds an instrument every 4 to 8 bars before the chorus? Now, I say transitions, yes, and that doesn't mean that every beat has to have, you know, like different, like total different parts to the beat. You know, there are some tracks that sound good when you just have a few instruments taken out and put back in every 4 to 8 bars. So, you know, you're absolutely right. You know, I mean, every track doesn't have a transition, but, you know, like, I'm just saying, when it comes to tracks that, you know, can literally, I'm talking about change your life type beats. You know what I'm saying? Change your life type beats have transitions, they have intros, they have breakdowns, they have bridges. I mean, you know, like singles. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I know everybody might not want to make a single, but at the end of the day, you know, adding transitions will always take your music to the next level, and it will challenge the artist. And it will, and it's also a form of you creating your own sound. Really, literally. So, you know, but great question though, bro. Great question. That's a great question. So, I mean, you know, I hope I answered your question the right way. You can definitely do that. Because some, you know, I have a lot of tracks like that where I just, you know, bring in instruments every now and then, and, you know, so forth. So, you know, it will work. It will work. Leo Salceto. Let's see what it is. Creeps on them beats. Okay. I see what you're doing, Leo. You know what I'm saying? That's a banger. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's a nice beat. The drums, everything sound good. You know what I'm saying? I will watch the mix just a little bit though, because, you know, I'm listening on the big speaker so I can hear the whole beat. You know, you might not be able to hear the whole beat, but I can hear the whole beat. But you know, everything sounds solid. You know, I would say that, you know, keep doing what you're doing, because, you know, the more you continue to practice. See, that's one thing that I mean, I can't say enough. Like when I was coming up and starting, I mean, making beats was more than a hobby. And I mean, I know sometimes you got to work that job, or sometimes you got things that you got to go do, and sometimes you might not get a chance to get to your music. But me, when I was coming up, I mean, everything else had to wait. It was all about my music. So as long as music producers continue to dig in, continue to create your sound, continue to learn, continue to educate yourself, you're going to continue to get to the next level, man. So, you know, that's what I say about that. You know, Leo, good shot on the beat. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for submitting, my brother. So let's go to the next one. All right, let me go to the bottom because I got hundreds of beats in here. Okay, DB Conda beat. Let me see, DB Conda beat. Let's see what it is. He got a beat called Stars. Okay. I really, really like that sample. I really, really like that sample. I like what you did with the beat. You know what I'm saying? You actually could tell, you know, that you've been making beats a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? You can actually tell. You know, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, but I like the sample. I mean, it's always, you know, like how we had said last week, there was someone that submitted a beat and they had the sample just playing straight through. Like, I'm always a fan of, you know, chopping the sample up and making it yours. You know, like at least getting a little bit more creative with the sample. And that's not taken away from what you submitted, because what you submitted was dope. I mean, you know, I like the feel of it. I can hear somebody ripping that, you know, and I like what you're doing. But, you know, when you chopping up samples, try to chop them up in a way that it makes people ask you, is that a sample? I mean, man, is that a sample? You know what I'm saying? So you want to kind of disguise the sample and kind of chop it up your own way and make it sound away from the, you know, original track as possible. And I mean, I hear you. I mean, you know, I have lots of tracks like that too. So, you know, I mean, that's not a bad thing. Some tracks do cost for that. So, but overall, you know, I mean, I like that track. I like what you did to that beat. I like what you did to that beat. Okay. Clarence Young. Let's see what it is. Now, we still got hundreds of beats coming in. I mean, man, I mean, you know, I'm not going to be able to get to everybody beat, but let's see what it is. Okay, you know, I like what you're doing, Clarence Young. I mean, you know, kind of the same thing with the sample. I love the sample, but you want to chop it up a little bit and make it yours. I like what you did, though. I like what you did with the sample. You definitely, you know, made it yours. And I mean, you know, like, you know, the overall beat was banging. I mean, I'm always going to, you know, say transitions. It probably was a transition up there later on, but, you know, like, you want to be able to break it all the way down to where, like, it breaks literally all the way down. But, you know, I mean, I like what you did. I mean, and you know, like, man, where y'all getting these samples from? Because that, man, I mean, I'm hearing some dope samples. I got some dope samples out there. So now what I'm going to do is I want to play one of my tracks. And then I'm going to explain the actual track. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it to the transition. Now, the track started off one way. It has a, you know, a pretty simple intro. Then it goes into the actual, like, 8 bars, you know, verse, and then it builds up. Now, these are one of these tracks where I didn't really, you know, I added a transition, but it was a transition using some of the instruments. So in this beat, I added instruments, took instruments out, but it takes the listener on a journey. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. So here we go. I didn't really add like a full transition, but I took it like I started the beat kind of subtle. Then I brought the banging drums in. Then I broke it down. Then I'm basically kind of taking the listener kind of on a wave. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how you want to structure. You want to structure your tracks. Now, everybody that's on this hangout, everybody that's listening right now, I want to give you a shout out, because while everybody else is out doing whatever they doing, partying or whatever, you here submitting your beats, and we all sitting here trying to get better together. And that's what this whole thing is about. So I want to shout out every producer that's on this hangout right now, because it just feels good to know that there's producers out there, that's real serious about what they do, man. It makes me feel good about showing up every week. So let's see. Let's go to the next beat. Okay, Daniel Hawkins. Let's see what it is. Daniel Hawkins. Hey, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just a fan of those type of beats, man. I got chills. Like I'm a fan of those kind of swing, like those laid back kind of, common type of, I'm just a fan of that type of stuff. So, I like everything that you did with that track, brother. I'm not even going, I like everything that you did. It's definitely a banger. And, you just keep doing what you're doing. Man, I would say just keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? If I were to say anything, I would say, when you start to, create things that only sound like you, I know you got something crazy coming. And I know you got a lot of joints that's probably crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because that right there was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to you, my homie. I like that beat. Let's see what it is. Dean Miller. Let's see what okay, Dean Miller sent the link. Dean Miller not following directions. So I can't play that beat, man. I'm not going to click on no links. MP3s only. MP3s only. Now also, you can also ask your questions. Ask your questions. You know what I'm saying? All right. So William Carnegie says that he has something that's out of the box. Send it in, bro. Send it in. Now you can also ask your questions over here, because I'm answering questions also. So let me check and see any new questions. Let me see. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Let's go to the next beat. Malik Milky Smooth. Let's see what it is. One of my favorite beats made 3 years ago. Okay, let's see what it do. You know what? I actually like what you're doing, Malik. I mean, I like what you're doing. I mean, I like how you brought everything down. I mean, you know, I would say, you know, I see where you was going with that beat. I definitely see where you was going. I see where you was going. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, like I would try, you know, like different things to come in on the second half of the 8 bars of the verse, like, you know, hi-hats, percussions, different things to, you know, because remember, like I said earlier, some beats are okay with, you know, having 4 bars where you have instruments in and the next 4 bars you bring instruments out, take, you know, so some beats do cause for that, but you want to make sure that you do that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you do that. But, you know, I mean, I like what you're doing, though. I like what you're doing. I can tell that, you know, you've been making beats, you know, maybe 3, maybe 4 years, 5 years tops. You know what I'm saying? My advice is really keep learning, man. Keep learning. Keep learning. No matter how many years you've been making beats, keep learning. Keep learning. Which, matter of fact, I got something special for, listen, we created this hangout for music producers to be able to come and learn how to take your beats to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to, you know, do things that other music producers are not sharing. And so I created something special for the music producers out there. I mean, I have 2 different video tutorials. Now, the reason I created video tutorials is because, you know, I know how easy it is for music producers to look at a video and be able to implement what they learn right there. And, you know, so what I did was I created two different courses called Beatmaking Secrets. And, you know, I have a beginner section from 0 to 3 years, and I cover beat patterns. I'll show you drum patterns. I'll show you how to create, you know, hit melodies. I'll show you how to play the piano. I actually have an exclusive piano lesson in there, and I show you one-on-one chords on how to create and, you know, how to craft different chords using, you know, different techniques that I'll show you in that. And, you know, and then I also have an intermediate course for producers that's been producing for 3 to 5 years. You know what I'm saying? You can go, and I'm showing you transitions. You know, that's something I always preach is transitions. You know, I show you how to stack your drums. I show you how to create melodies, you know, and then I also have an exclusive piano lesson for you in there too. So go to the showcase folder and get that. Beat Making Secrets. That's the reason why we created this whole thing is for, you know, I have thousands of music producers emailing me beats and I listen to them. And instead of being able, I'm not able to talk to every producer. So I created a blueprint, a guide, a shortcut for every music producer that, you know, is trying to get to the next level. So let me see. Let me look over here to the right. I see some questions coming in. Are studios important nowadays? Because these days we have so much access to a computer. Well, I mean, you know, honestly, I would say yes and no. I mean, I would say yes because, you know how I feel when you're sitting in the studio, man. I mean, that studio feel, I mean, it's nothing like it. Like, you know, you see the big speakers on the walls, you know, the lights is kind of dim. You got this big mixing board, you know, you got food over there. I mean, you got the big see-through booth with, you know, with the live piano and the live I mean, it's just something that a studio does to you that, I don't know, to me, in my experience, when I go to the bigger studios, it makes my music sound better. You know what I'm saying? It just, and maybe it's just me, but, you know, that's just how I feel. Now, you can get a lot of stuff done on your computer. So as far as getting work done, as far as getting money, no. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can get money with, you know, I mean, right now, people making beats, you know, with a program and a computer and, you know, a few apps and, you know, so, you know, keep it in the mind that it never matters what you have. It never matters what you have, right? It matters what you do with what you have. For years, I was making beats in Reason 4. The beat I just played, I made that in Reason 4 years ago. So it never matters what you're using. It only matters how you use, you know what I'm saying, what you're using. So let's see what it is. Okay, obviously Exclusive says, hell yeah, big homie, I'd rather make the music for the people to jig to and let them club on the weekend while I stack up this bread. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And remember, keep asking your questions on the side, man. Keep asking your questions, man. So let me go in on another beat. All right, let's see what it is. Mac E. Mac E, you didn't put a beat in here, Mac E. I can't play your beats, brother. Can't play your beats. Okay, Prez 00G. Let's see what it is.
Fantasy.
Okay, first of all, Prez, shout out to you for submitting, man. I mean, I can tell that you're a beginner. So what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to go to the showcase folder because I got something special for you in there. I created a beat tutorial called Beat Making Secrets that shows you exactly how to, do beat patterns. I show you how to create melodies. I show you, how to come up with different chords on the piano with the live lesson where I'm sitting there with the camera pointed right on my hand. So I show you exactly what I'm playing and how you can implement it in your music. I can tell that, you've been making beats for, maybe a year, maybe probably even under a year. Shout out to you for submitting because, a lot of music producers, I know when I was in that stage, I didn't want to submit any beats, you know what I'm saying, especially to get any live feedback because I felt like, it wasn't, I just felt like, I didn't want nobody to really tell me the truth. And so the fact that you submit beats and you want the truth, that's what's up. That's what we're here for. But I would say update your drums. And matter of fact, go to the showcase folder right there. I got something special for you in there. And, go ahead and grab that right now. Because I can help you. It'll get right. Like, I can help you. So, let me see. LAHCW Music Pub. Let's see. Okay, that's a long name. What's up with my brother? No, produced by TRT. Oh, okay, I guess that's just the email. My bad. He got a beat called Technique. Let's see what it is. Hey, you know what? That's a banger, man. That's a banger. I mean, I'm listening over here. It sounds like one of them bangers. I mean, that's definitely a banger. It sounds good. The drums, everything is on point. So you can tell that you know what you're doing. Keep learning. Keep applying new techniques. Collaborate with other musicians. You know what I'm saying? Pull something out of yourself that you don't know really exists. And let me stop. When I say that, I don't mean that what you're doing is wrong. I say that because even me, myself, still, I'm pulling out things that I don't even know exist. You got major producers still pulling out things that they don't even know exist. So this is a growing thing. So keep growing. But TRT, that was a banger, though. That was a banger. That was a banger. So let's see. All right, I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm going to go to the bottom because I got hella beats. Matter of fact, I'm going to be fair and I'm going to go to the next page because I got 50 pages full of beats. Let's see what it is. Dro Johnson. Let's see what it do.
I'm thinking about you while you thinking about me. I'm thinking about the things that we did last week. I think about your smile and the dimples.
Okay, somebody submitted a song. I mean, I like the. I mean, well, the beat actually, I would say that the drums need to be updated. I love that melody. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something about those 4 chords that just got hit quality all over. You know what I'm saying? It's just like traditional pop chords, right? Like those 4 chords that you always hear in a pop song. You can do them in different keys. They're the same chords, but they have like that hit quality. So I like your melodies. I like what you're doing on the melody side. I would say update the drums a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because the drums was a little thin, and that's always, like as soon as the A&R hear that, they'll go to the next track quickly. So again, this is about grabbing the listener. Grab them and make them listen to your music. Make them listen to your music. And so, overall, again, I like the melody, but the drums, you can update the drums a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Gregory Cornelius. Let me see. Oh, that's the homie. I talked to Gregory before. What's up with Gregory? How you doing, my brother? This is how I do. Let's see what it do. Okay, I like what you're doing, Gregory. You know what I'm saying? The drums, everything was banging. I like the melodies. But the sample was off key. The sample that you used in the beat, the singer, it was in a totally different key. And so you might want to watch that. But other than that, I like the track. I like everything that you did with it. I'm pretty sure if I listened to it for a little bit longer, you had a transition or something like that popping at the end. But, I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like what you did. But make sure that your samples, see, that's where you got to work on your ear. You got to make sure. See, you don't have to be a piano player to have a great ear. You don't have to be a piano player to have a great ear. You can literally just, you can literally just tune, try. This is something that I used to do. I used to sing notes and try to find that note on the keyboard, like literally. And you don't have to be able to know how to sing to do that, but it's ear training. You want to make sure that when you use samples that, make sure that when you use samples that the samples are in the same key, man. Make sure that the samples are in the same key. But other than that, I like what you did, though. I like what you did, man. Send some more questions. I see producers giving shout outs. And again, shout out to the producers that's, active, the ones that's in here, that's active. You know what I'm saying? Because, we all here to listen to these beats, baby. So let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Okay. Brian Byrons. Okay. I feel like I've seen you before, man. I mean, like maybe I follow you on or maybe we Instagram friends or something. But shout out to my homie Brian. Let's see what it is. Unstoppable. Okay, you know what, Brian? I like what you're doing, man. I really like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I like what you're doing. You can tell that you understand how, like, transitions. You can tell that you understand beat arrangements. You can tell that you understand that. So shout out to Brian, man. I mean, I like what you're doing. I like the sample. Of course, that sample, you know, has been used a lot. But at the same time, I mean, you know, I like what you did with it, though. You know what I'm saying? I like what you did with it. You know, like other samples, I would say, you know, you chopped it up and you made it yours, and, you know, you actually did that. So, you know, I like what you're doing, Brian. I like what you're doing. So shout out to Brian. All right, Dean Miller. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is, Dean Miller. Shout out to the homie Dean Miller. Cream pie. I like what you're doing, man. I mean, I like what you're doing, Dean Miller. I mean, you know, I like what you're doing. I mean, it got like a big theatrical sound. You know what I'm saying? I like what you're doing. You know, keep learning, keep growing. I would say update the drums a little bit, but you know, because the kick kind of sound a little thin, at least on this side. But you know, I like what you're doing, though, man. I like what you're doing. Now, I see somebody in here. Yeah, as you know, somebody always talking shit. So let's see. Cash Sinatra says Kev be playing some bullshit, though. Okay, first of all, Cash Sinatra, I can't look at the emails and tell what anything sounds like, but let me hear what your beats sound like. Let's see what your beats sound like, Cash. Let's see what it is. Did you submit? Let me know in the comments if you submitted something. I want to see what Cash got going. Or did I play Cash beat already? Yeah, I don't see your beats in here, bro, if you did submit. Yeah, I don't see your beats in here, brother. So I can't look at the, you know, I can't look at the email and tell what the beats sound like. So I'm just playing random beats. Now, let's see. What up? Big C Music. Let's see.
Big C Music.
You know what, Big C, I like what you're doing. I like the melodies. You know what I'm saying? You have some big, strong melodies. But I would say update your drums, because on this side, the drums was very, very, very thin. The kick and the snare was like really, really thin. They didn't really stick out. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really stick out. So I got another good question that I want to I got another question. Let me see. From Obviously Exclusive. Okay, is it good to make beats that gear towards particular artists? I mean, I wouldn't say it's a good or bad thing, right? Because, you know, if you are making tracks that's geared toward a particular artist, make sure that you're giving them something that they haven't done before. Because that's a mistake that I used to make. I used to create beats, like literally, I would find out what artist is looking for beats, and then I would go straight to, you know, listen to what they already put out and then try to give them a bunch of that. You know, like if you are going to make artists or beats that, you know, speak to specific artists, make sure that it's something that they never created before. So, I mean, I would say, you know, that's kind of, you know, that's up in the air. I mean, you know, that's up in the air. I mean, it's not a good or a bad thing. You know what I mean? If you can do it, then, you know, and you hear a specific track that's tailored for a specific artist, then, you know, I mean, you know, it'll work, you know. But I mean, I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't worry about that, you know, too much. I mean, like, literally, there's certain tracks that you just submit that you don't even like that an artist may like. So it's like in this music industry, we never know. You really never know. It depends on what the artists feel like, to be honest. Now, let me go and listen to some more beats. Let's see, man. Y'all still submitting fire. Let's see. Let's see what it is. Okay, Mac E. All right, you didn't submit a beat in the last one. Let's see what you got. You know what? I like what you're doing, Mackie. I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you definitely understand how to put together music. You know what I'm saying? I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing. Now, any producers that just joined the hangout, I'm still playing beats. I might even stay for a little bit longer. So keep submitting these beats. Keep submitting these beats. But go to the showcase folder. I got something special for you. That's the reason why we create these hangouts, is to be able to, you know, instead of being able to talk to the thousands of producers that want me to listen to their beats, I created a video tutorial that shows you everything you need to know about making beats. I got a beginner section, then I have a intermediate section, and I show you transitions. I show you, you know, I mean, how to stack your drums. I show you how to create different melodies. I mean, I literally go in. I show you beat patterns, how, you know, beat arrangements, you know, and literally an exclusive piano lesson that shows you how to play different chords and stuff like that. So go to the showcase folder, check that out. You know. Now let me go to the next beat. Let me go to the next beat. But Mac E, I like what you're doing, bro. I like what you're doing. I definitely like what you're doing. Definitely like what you're doing. So let's see. All right. Franklin Delgado. Let's see what it is. Okay, now, Franklin, first of all, shout out to you for submitting a beat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. I can tell that, you know, you haven't been making beats for that long. But my first instructions for you is go to the showcase folder, or go to the showcase, click on the showcase. I created a tutorial that will show you everything you need to know about beat making to get to the next level in the next 30 days. Go to the showcase folder and click that, because, like, the sample was playing at one tempo and the drums was playing at a totally different tempo. So, you know, you want to kind of work on that. I appreciate you for submitting, because, you know, I mean, I can tell, you know, I mean, anytime somebody submit a beat for anybody to critique it, it got to be serious, right? So, you know, shout out to you for submitting. With time, you will continue to get to the next level, but I created something specifically for you over in the showcase folder. And right now, producers is grabbing it off the shelf right now, man. By the way, producers is grabbing it and taking it off the shelf. Like, I mean, I'm literally looking and producers are taking it off the shelf. So, you know, if you have this problem, which I see a lot of music producers have the problem of knowing how to create intros, how to arrange your beats, how to do transitions, how to do, you know, beat patterns, how to stack your drums, how to play different chords in your beats. I created something for you in the showcase folder, but you know, I suggest that you definitely go there and grab that right now. Go get that. So let's see what it is. People still sending in beats, so I'm going right to the top, baby. Frank Jones, what it is. Frank Jones didn't put a beat in the email. Frank Jones, come on, man. Come on, Frank Jones. Okay, LR. LR say he got transitions. Let's see what it is. Okay, LR, I like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can tell that, you know, you haven't been producing for that long. I mean, you know, you said it had transitions. I'm sure it got transitions and everything in it. I'll check it out later on, and, you know, I'll email you back and let you know what I think about the transitions. But I say you still got some more work to do, though, my brother. I mean, you know, I see that you're getting it. I definitely see that you're getting it. And, you know, you want to keep making it happen. Keep learning. I mean, you know, I don't know exactly. If I were to guess between, you know, 1 to maybe 3 years of making beats, you know what I'm saying? And keep plugging into hangouts like this. Keep getting new sounds. Keep listening to music. Like, that's half the battle right there. Listen to all different genres of music. You know, stop listening to what you always listen to and listen to something that you would never listen to. Something that literally takes your mind somewhere else. And I guarantee just doing that will take your music to the next level. I guarantee it. So LR, shout out to you for submitting, but also go to the showcase folder, brother, because, you know, I know that video tutorial will help you out also. Go to the showcase folder, brother, and get that. So do that. Now let me check and see if there's any questions, because I just saw a question. Okay. Cash Sinatra asks, is it possible to overproduce the track? I sometimes wonder. Actually, you know what, Cash Sinatra, that's a good question. That's a good question. You know, and I would say yes. I would say yes, because, you know, sometimes, you know, I felt in the past that I've overproduced the track. And that's why it's always important to create something and then shut your mind off. Go do something else totally for like a couple hours or even a whole day, and then come back to the track. And then once you always have that fresh mindset to your music, you'll always keep doing new things. You know what I'm saying? Or you'll always come back and be like, well, you know, this part got too much in it. I definitely need to take that out. I need to take this out. Let me take this out. So that's why I feel like it's important to never rush on your beats. Always take, you know, at least give yourself at least 2 to 3 days, man, to create a beat, unless you're under pressure. Unless you're under pressure and you got to come up with something real quick. But even then, remember intros, remember drum patterns, remember transitions, remember, you know, taking different instruments in and out at certain places, breaking the drums down, bridges, you know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. Remember all that. And I just stuttered. That's hella funny. But yeah, your big homie do be stuttering sometimes. So, you know, but keep doing what you're doing, man. I mean, you know, Cash Sinatra, that was a great question. And I mean, you know, yes, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. You know what I'm saying? It is possible to overproduce a track. And you know, right? Because you start to sit back and feel like something don't sound right. It's usually when something don't sound right that, you know, it may be overproduced. You may have overproduced that track. So, you know, good question. All right, Gregory Grant, let's see what it is. that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? That's a little different. You know, you can tell, you know, that you got your own flavor, you know, your own thing going on. Now, sometimes, just like it's possible to overproduce a track, sometimes it's possible to try to be too far different. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, because sometimes when, like, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to lose yourself trying to be too different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a such thing as being different and staying within the guidelines and still being able to, you know, make your beat banging and still being able to create your own sound. But there's also a time where, you know, sometimes being too far off and being too different might, you know, kind of throw the artist off. Now, I mean, you know, that's actually, you know, I like the track. I like the track. I mean, I like what you did, because one thing I like about it, I'm also a fan of delayed drums. I'm just a fan of that whole laid back type of feel. So, you know, like, I feel like the right artist would be able to kill it. Like you know, I forgot the name of that dude, but you know, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing, but don't lose yourself trying to be too different. You know what I'm saying? That's what you don't want to do, because that is possible. But let me check and see what questions we got. Y'all not asking no questions, man. What's up? Ask your big homie some questions, man. It's about all of us getting to the next level. Let me check the questions. Let me see. Greetings from England. Whoa. Kavon White, he from England. Shout out to the homie in England. Wow. That's crazy. Okay, I like this question. Here's another question. Okay, do you feel like you get more placements when you have transitions in the beginning of the track? Well, my very first major placement with, you know, Chris Brown and Tank, when I submitted that track had intros, it had transitions, it had bridges, like it literally had everything already laid out. Now, Chris Brown wrote that song. Now, because Chris Brown wrote that song, you know what I'm saying, and he's a major artist, the track had to already have that feel that he was looking for in order to be able to write the song that he wrote. So, you know, I would say, I mean, I wouldn't say that, you know, yes, that's the only way to get placements is to have transitions, because there are tracks out there that are just simple. There are some tracks out there that just play the same way and don't change. So at the end of the day, the placements depend on the artist, the placements depend on the song, and the placements depend on the opportunity. Who you sending it to? Because the right person could feel the right way at the right time, and you can get that placement. You know, but you know, the right person can feel the wrong way at the wrong time, and you know, you might not get that placement. So, you know, transitions is just a way to up your chances of getting the beat placed. And that's just real talk. Like when you got transitions in your music, you have no choice but to, you know, take or challenge the songwriter, the singer, because now they got to get creative based on what you sent them. So, you know, that was a good question, though. That was a very, very good question. Okay, now someone, Big C Music says, what does it mean when you get green lighted by music dealers? When you get green lighted, brother, that means that, you know, they accepted you into the company. Either they accepted you into the company or they've accepted one of your tracks for a placement. So that's what that means. That's what that means. When you get green lighted. I mean, think about it. Green lighted. That can't be nothing bad, right? Green lighted. That's what it is. Okay, Wesley Kelly. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is. Who Up Official. Okay, Wesley Kelly. I can tell that, you know, you've been making beats. You haven't been making beats for that long. I don't know if I've played one of your beats today or not, but I remember for some reason I remember your name. Maybe I spoke to you, or maybe I've emailed you, or you've emailed me before. But I would say, first of all, for you, go to the showcase folder, because I created beat making secrets. It would definitely take your beats to the next level, because I hear a lot of things that that I show you in that tutorial that can definitely help you. And I mean, and I'm not even ripping people's heads off. It's real cheap right now. And when I started off, it was very high priced. And so I brought it down because I like to give back to the community. And this is about you guys getting to the next level. You guys having the opportunities that you want. So Wesley Kelly, the melodies was a little strange. You know what I'm saying? It kind of clashed a little bit for me. Again, I can tell that you haven't been making beats for that long. So you want to keep practicing. Again, go to that showcase folder, grab that beat making secrets, and that'll do you a world of good. And it'll take your beats to the next level in the next 30 days. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You follow everything I show you in there, it'll take your beats to the next level in the next 30 days. You'll be amazed at how your beats sound. And then, matter of fact, get that right now and then submit some beats next week based on what you learned in there. And let's see what it's like. Let's see what it sounds like. But shout out to you for submitting. Shout out to you for submitting. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna do a couple more beats, and then we out of here. It's 8:30, so you know I still wanna give everybody a fair chance. I wanna listen to and I'm still looking at questions. I'm still like, ask some more questions. I'm still searching through the whole question thing. I'm still looking. Master your craft till your craft is mastered. I like that, Cash. I like that. I'm gonna have to use that. So if you hear that in some of my videos, I'm gonna say shout out to Cash, man. I got that from Cash. That's real talk. I like that. I like that. Okay, so let me go to the next beat. Okay, Daniel Dawkins. Let's see what it is. No, Daniel Dawkins already played one of your beats, bro. Already played one of your beats. I'm trying to play new beats that I haven't played. I remember I played one of your beats, I believe. Okay, War Entertainment. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is. Okay, I mean, I see where you was trying to go, War. I see where you was trying to go. The 808 is banging. I mean, I'm listening on the big speakers, and the 808 is banging. Like, so you got your 808s down. The melody was, a little. It kind of conflicted a little bit for some reason. I mean, it just kind of conflicted. So, you want to make sure that you definitely, just like, and matter of fact, you say it in the email. EQ it a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? You even say that in the email, and like kind of work on making your drum pattern a little bit more full. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and make it to where that when you listen to the track, it's the intro. This is the first 8 bars of the verse. That this is the pre-chorus or the chorus or and so forth. Like, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you also, go to the showcase folder and get that beat making secrets, because that'll help you. That'll help you. I can tell that you've been making beats for probably under 5 years, I would guess. You know what I'm saying? Probably under 5 years, or maybe probably under 5 years. I want you to study, and when you do get that, go to the beat pattern section and work on your beat patterns or your drum patterns and beat arrangements. Work on that also. Because I mean that, just having a dope beat arrangement is just the difference between getting a song placed and not getting it placed. So let me see. So now I have another question. Okay, do you have go-to transitions when you are on a time restraint. Actually, and this is Elijah Stroud. Shout out to Elijah. I do have, you know, like different go-to things that I do when I'm on a time restraint. But I try as much as possible not to allow anyone to put me on a time restraint. Because, you know, like sometimes you have no choice, right? Sometimes you have absolutely no choice. There's an opportunity. You only got an hour to throw something. So, you know, you want to do your best. See, that's why all of these tips and all of these things that you learn over your journey as a music producer, you keep applying stuff that you learn, new tricks, new tips. Every time you do something on accident and it works, start to remember those things and keep applying them, because there's going to be times where you're going to have some go-to transition or some go-to things. Now, I do have go-to things, go-to instruments, and go-to things that I always do on my transitions, but no, I don't have any go-to transitions. You know, like it just got to come to me. You know, I mean, it just literally, you know, got to come to me. So, you know, that's the answer to that question. So we still going in on some beats. It's 8:38 out here. We still going in, baby. Let's see. We still going in. Let's see what it is. Let's see what we got. All right, John Mack. Let's see what it is. John Mack.
When this music again, just in case you never know now. When it's that old school, linking up with a new school. You see me? Yeah. We are dancer, trendsetters, we dancer, trendsetters, we dancer, trendsetters. We never follow nobody, they never follow me. We are dancer, trendsetters.
Okay, you know, first of all, I would rather hear, you know, beats instead of songs. You know what I'm saying? Now, there was nothing wrong with what you submitted. I mean, you know, keep doing what you're doing as far as on the music. I mean, you know, that sound like, you know, if I would have kept listening, it would have been something dope. You know, a song that, you know, would have grown on me. But this is the first thing. Like when it comes to submitting music, we said this last week. We talked about this last week. Make sure that you follow the directions, man. Make sure that you follow the directions. See, we said submit your beats. We didn't say submit your songs, because we're not going to judge songs. We're going to judge and critique beats. So make sure that you follow directions, that you always follow the instructions for submitting, because if you don't, you know, I mean, you know, that'll quickly not get your beat listened to. I mean, just straight up. So, you know, it sounds like, you know, you got something going on, no funky feathers. I actually remember your name. I remember your name. I believe I just listened to one of your other beats that you sent me recently. I think I just talked to you or I just spoke with you. But make sure that you know, follow directions, my man. Make sure that you follow directions. So Leo Salceto, let's see what, okay, Leo Salceto was asking questions. Okay, so I'm gonna listen to a few more. I'm gonna listen to a few more and let's see what it is. Okay, Lance Quinn, let's see what it is. Okay, Lance Quinn, you can tell that you got kind of like a dubstep type of feel, type of thing going on. There's nothing wrong with those type of tracks, but, you know, I can also tell that, you know, you haven't been making beats for that long. And I don't know if I played one of your beats tonight, but what I would encourage you to do is go over to the showcase folder, because I created a course called Beat Making Secrets. It's a few videos showing you all of my secrets on transitions, on, you know, beat making tips, you know, beat patterns. You know, I actually and I also have a drum lesson. I mean, not a drum lesson, but a piano lesson in there where I got the camera focused right on my hands, where you can see exactly the chords that I'm playing, so you can learn exactly how to use these chords in your beat. So go to the showcase folder and get that. Right now, producers is getting it. I mean, it's flying off the shelf right now. You know, shout out to all the producers that's already got that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those producers that's taking their music to the next level. I mean, you know, that's the reason that we do this. And the reason I created that video tutorial is because I get thousands of music producers emailing me, and I can't physically reach out and talk to everybody. So I put together all of the common problems that I see, and I put it together in, you know, a beginner course, 0 to 3 years, and then a, you know, course 3 to 5 years, an intermediate course. And I show you everything, man. Transitions, how to create melodies, beat arrangements, intros, you know, and, you know, lots of other different, you know, things that I got in there too. So, brother, go to that showcase folder, Lance Quinn, because that course will definitely take your beats to the next level in the next 30 days. Straight up. So Frank Quan, let's see what it is. Okay, Frank Quan, I already listened to one of your beats, bro. I already listened to one of your beats. Now I'm trying to give everybody a chance, man. I'm trying to, you know, listen to all these beats. Let me see. Okay. Let me go. I actually had another question I wanted to get to. Okay, question. Should you pay a website? First of all, shout out to Young Head Beats, the homie, Young Head Beats. Should you pay a website to get considered for a placement? Yes. Yes, you should pay a website to get considered for a placement. I've done it before, but I wouldn't say just pay anybody. You know what I'm saying? Don't just pay anybody. There are certain people that are getting over on music producers when it comes to submitting. I mean, the good companies that I know about is companies like, you know, Blaze Track. Blaze Track is a real good company. I paid them, you know, years ago to listen to a few of my tracks. And so, I mean, I don't even know if it's still going, but back in the day, Blaze Track was popping. And you can actually really get video feedback from, you know, different industry professionals. So I feel that, you know, it is good to submit, you know, music and to have to pay for it because, I mean, think about it. You're actually asking these A&Rs and these people to take time out of their day to listen to your music and to, you know, give you feedback and possibly place your music. And, you know, although they might get a cut, you know, I mean, still, you want to make sure that, you know, you in the right mindset with that, you know, because, you know, and you want to make sure that you do all your research. Do all your research. Don't just pay anybody. Because that was another mistake that I made. I just paid anybody. And I lost a lot of money when I started off, man. I lost a lot of money because I didn't know. I didn't have, you know, nobody like me and Postman and, you know, giving up any game. I didn't have that. So all the music producers in this industry in this day right now, you're lucky because you have music producers that know the game and that's sharing the game. So, you know, to answer your question, yes and no, because, you know, sometimes you don't want to, it really depends on the situation. It depends on the situation. So let's see, I'm going to listen to maybe 2 more beats and then we out of here. Todd Porter, I feel like I've listened to your beats already, bro. I think I've listened to your beats already. But what the hell? I'm going to just play it. Let's see. Okay, Todd Porter, first thing I'm going to tell you to do, bro, is go over to the showcase folder and get that beat making secrets because I show you some things in there about melodies that'll take your music to the next level in the next 30 days, straight up. I can tell that you've been, you know, making beats for not that long. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you for submitting. You want to make sure that your melodies are lined up. Make sure that all your melodies come together. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that all your melodies work together. Don't have any melodies that's so far off that you can't really, like an artist can't sing to it or a rapper can't rap to it. Don't make any distracting melodies. And so I know if you go to the showcase folder in the next 30 days, your beats will be changed because I show you exactly some things on, you know, transitions, and then I'll show you some things on melodies. You know what I'm saying? So go and check that out. It's in the showcase folder right now. Beat Making Secrets. Go check that out. Because Todd Porter, I know that'll help you. Now, Let me listen to one more beat, and then we out of here. And then I'm gonna see what questions you got, and then, you know, let's see what it is. Okay, now I'm just playing anybody's stuff. Okay, Eddie Edro. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is. Okay, I like what you're doing, Eddie Edro. First of all, I can tell that, you know, that's a luxury loop that you're using. I mean, I really like the melody, you know, because I actually remember playing that melody. I like the melody, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I would say go to the showcase folder, because I know my beat making secrets could help you also, because, you know, like when it comes to beat arrangements, you want to arrange a beat, you know, in a certain way that's attractive to the artist, you know what I'm saying? A certain way that they feel challenged, you know what I'm saying? They feel like, okay, I know I could rip this. Like when an artist listen to your beat, when somebody listen to your beat, they should be like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Especially an artist. When an artist listen to your beat, they should be ready to rap, get in the booth right now. That's how you want people to be when they press play. You don't want them to have to wait to see what happens to get inspired. You know what I'm saying? So Eddie, I know that, you know, beat making secrets will help you. So go to the showcase folder. And again, shout out again to all the music producers that's getting that, man. It's flying off the shelf. I see you. I see you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of producers getting it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I mean, you know, I'm very humbled, man, because, you know, I mean, I'm glad to be a part of the community, man. And I'm more glad to, you know, help music producers get to the next level, man. And I see every music producer that's invested in themselves, invested in their career. And, you know, you have no choice but to get to the next level. So shout out to all the producers that have already got beat making secrets. And if you don't have it, go to the showcase folder, man, and get it, because, you know, it's all about learning new things and applying new things. So now I'm just going through the last couple beats that I see in here. William Carnegie. Whether I played your beat or not, I'm about to play Make It Shake. Okay, William Carnegie, I can tell that you got a different kind of flavor going on. You know what I'm saying? I would say that, you know, go to the showcase folder, and, you know, I can definitely help you out with your beat patterns. I can help you out with your melodies. I can help you out with your, you know, with your drum patterns. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, you know, using different melodies and different things. And I also have, you know, some other stuff in there that I know will help you. So go to the showcase folder, because that will help you and help you take your beats to the next level in the next 30 days. Now, as far as the actual track, I feel like, you know, you need a little bit of work. You know what I'm saying? Update your drums a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Focus on a set pattern and a set melody, and then build from there. Build from there. So get a structure down and then build from there. Like, don't, you know, because a lot of producers get mixed up when I start talking about transitions, that, you know, a lot of producers be like, come on, Kev, I don't play no instruments, man. Come on, this transition stuff. Man, you're starting to get on my nerves talking about that. And I say transitions because that will up your chances of getting stuff placed. But the most important thing about these beats is they must at least be structured in the right way. Outside of having banging drums, outside of having dope melodies, outside of having your own sound, your beat has to be arranged in a certain way. So arrange it in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You want to arrange it, and for that reason, that's why, you know, I know that beat making secrets will help you, because, you know, it'll help you. It'll show you how to arrange your tracks in a certain way. Okay, so Carl Thornton, let's see what it is. Carl Thornton did not put a beat in here. Okay, so Carl, I can't listen to that, brother. I can't listen to that. All right, so let me listen to, let me see, I think I got all the ones for today. Wait, Lath Reese, Lath Reese, let's see what it is. Untitled. Let's see. Okay, Lath Reese, I like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I definitely like what you're doing. I like your melodies. You know what I'm saying? The melody, as soon as the melody played, it kind of got me in that hype mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started moving. So that's the type of feel that you're supposed to give. But when the beat came in, the drums sounded a little thin. So you want to update your drums, man. Make sure that you update your drums. Make sure you update your drums. The drums is the most important part of your beat, period. If your kick and your snare is thin and it's small, it don't matter what your melodies sound like. People are gonna go to the next beat every time because, you know, and this is just the psychology behind it is when people hear, and especially people that don't know nothing about music. See, there's a whole world of people that don't know about music like how we know. So all they know is when they listen to it and they hear thin, weak drums, they automatically, the first thing they say is, oh, that's a weak producer. Because they don't understand why the beat, you know, is thin, why it's small sounding. So I would say, you know, your melodies is on point. I like what you're doing there. I would also tell you to go and grab, you know, Beat Making Secrets also because it will definitely help you. I got a section in there that shows you, you know, how to stack your drums. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it'll be good for you to learn how to stack your drums because you may have dope banging drums, but you just use, you know, some very thin ones on that beat. So that's what I will say to you is update your drums. That's the most important thing, man, when it comes to these beats. Update your drums. But go to the showcase folder, get that Beat Making Secrets, man. All right, let me play one more and then we out. This went to 2 hours tonight, but you know, man, I mean, man, at the end of the day, man, I love y'all, man. I mean, I love doing these things. I look forward to it every week. And you know, I love coming on here helping producers get to the next level. I love it. I love it. Elijah Stroud. Okay, Elijah Stroud didn't put a beat in here. He asked a question. Okay, I'm not answering questions inside of the emails, Elijah. So you got to come on, man. Okay, let me see. Frank Jones. Okay, Frank Jones. Let's see what it is.
DJFrankNice.com.
Okay, Frank Jones. Now, see, this is actually the opposite of what I've been saying all night, right? Like, your drums is banging. Your drums is banging. Like, they banging, like, straight up. Your drums is banging. I like the snare rolls, and I like all that stuff that you're doing in there, but the melody is kind of thin. You know what I'm saying? Now the melody, you know, you could have put more thought into the melody, made the melody stick out with the drums. Because right now, the drums is up here, and the melody was like way down here for me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, make sure that the melody and the drums is on the same wavelength, not in sound, but make sure that the melody matches. Make sure that it accompanies the drums. Make sure it accompanies the drums. Okay? So, but your drums was banging. I would also say go to the showcase folder and get that Beat Making Secrets because I show you in there how to create melodies. I show you how to create melodies. I show you exactly how to, you know, craft melodies and my actual secrets on how I'm crafting melodies. I think it's like 2 to 3 videos in each folder showing you how to, well, in that particular folder, I show you, you know, I think 3 videos in there showing you how to, you know, create those melodies. That's all you need to do, because your drums was banging, man. Your drums was banging. So let's see what other questions we got. All right, let's see what we got. All right. What are your go-to bar combinations? My go-to bar combinations. Now, first of all, Young Head Beats. I answered that question in the course. You know, I show you some things about beat arrangements. As far as, you know, like, I like to do, like, you know, 4-bar intros sometimes. Sometimes I mean, and when I do the 4-bar intro, I want to make sure that the intro is crazy, right? And then it comes into something that might be even more crazy, or something that breaks all the way down. So that way I go from crazy intro, 4 bars, and then I have 8 bars of butt naked, just drums, basic drums, and, you know, a nice melody. Then everything builds up, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, so I would say 4 bars in. You know, sometimes I like to do 16 bars for the verse, but sometimes I like to do 8 bars for the first half of the verse, and then either do a 4-bar pre-chorus and then a 4-bar transition into the chorus, or sometimes I might do an 8-bar pre-chorus. So, you know, I mean, I like to play with the beat arrangements, you know what I'm saying? And that's something that you want to make sure that you always doing as a music producer. Play with the beat arrangements, because, you know, you don't want to just stick with 8-bar intro, 16-bar verse, 8-bar chorus, 16-bar verse, 8-bar chorus, 16-bar verse, 8-bar chorus. Now, and some songs calls for that, you know, and as a producer, sometimes you know, like, okay, I'm going to keep this track straight. I'm going to keep this the way it is and make it go all the way, and I'm not going to change nothing up. I'm going to keep the regular arrangement. But that's a part of getting creative, right? It's starting to add different, like add your own different arrangements, as long as you stay within the guidelines, though. See, don't get off on the guidelines and do something crazy like 7 bars or 3 bars, or, you know, like don't do nothing crazy like that. Like, you know, but you can get creative with it. You know, hopefully that answered your question. I mean, you know, I like to always add a 8-bar, a 4-bar, or 8-bar transition after the original chorus part. So, you know, that's what I like to do. So, matter of fact, let me play one more beat and then we out of here, man. One more beat. Okay, Dean Miller. Let's say what it is. Okay, now I feel like I've heard that before, Dean Miller. For some reason, I feel like I've heard that before. I think I played that tonight already, or maybe I played it on another, you know, hangout, because, you know, for some reason I feel like I've heard that before. So I believe I played that before. Now, let me see what else we got. Throw your questions, man. Your big homie's still here. I know I keep saying I'm gonna leave, man, but, you know, I like to sit up here and chop it with y'all, man. I mean, I love this. I love doing this. So let's see what else we got. Throw some more questions. How do you mix your drums against the melodies to make both really pop? I say, you know, that's a kind of like an experience type of thing. See, I have this philosophy on, you know, mixing drums and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, when I mix my own beats, I like to make sure that my own beats sound the way I like them to sound. Now, sometimes I like to send my beats off to an engineer. Now, I'm not an engineer. I just know how I like my beats to really sound. So I feel like that comes with experience, because I'm sure that there's lots of engineering techniques that I could, show you or tell you, but I'm not an engineer. So a great way to solve that problem, if you're having that problem as far as mixing your drums and you're trying to have a problem having stuff sounding high, the only way that you can master that is to keep doing it. To keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Keep trying it. And then the key is something that I talked about last week. Test it on different speakers. Test it in your car. Test it on your computer speakers. Test it on your little bitty earphones. Test it all over the place. Test it on your TV. You know what I'm saying? But that's something that, it takes practice. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you eventually get your ear to a place where you start to understand frequencies and all that type of stuff. See, I don't really understand all that stuff. Frequencies. I just know how I like my music to sound. And that's, basically how I create what I create, because I know how I like it to really sound. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see what other questions we got in here. Okay, so here go a question from William Carnegie. Okay, Big Kev, I do R&B tracks myself since I write and sing on my own music. Can a producer that makes music for R&B be able to make tracks for rappers as well? Of course, man. Of course. I mean, if you think about it, there are some R&B tracks that's straight up R&B tracks that rappers rap over. You know what I'm saying? Like Ludacris, I mean, Drake, a lot of the stuff that he rap on is a lot of R&B stuff. So yes, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, LR Productions, Kev, how long do you spend on mixing? That kind of varies. I mean, I would say that it kind of depends on if I'm submitting the beat to an opportunity or not. Because if I'm not submitting it to an opportunity, then I might just make it sound good enough to, put on my beat site or something like that, or just make it sound to where everything sonically sounds the right way. Nothing is peaking. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, there are certain times where, I mean, I've spent, you say, how long do I spend on? I've spent days on a mix. Like, and again, that's because I'm not an engineer. So, one thing that producers should do, like really, you want some game, hook up with an engineer. Hook up with an engineer that only engineers, that don't make beats. Hook up with an engineer that really understand frequencies, that really understand how to make your kick, even if it's a weak kick, he knows how to put it in the mix where it'll still stand out. Now, what happens is you can start hooking up with them engineers, because think about it. Most engineers that don't make beats want to know how to make beats. And most producers that don't engineer want to know how to engineer. So that sounds like a nice collaboration right there. If you collab with the engineer and the engineer collabs with you and y'all share knowledge, y'all can get to the next level together. You know what I'm saying? And then think about what you have. You now have a guaranteed way to present that professional sound. You know what I'm saying? And, then he also gets the game, and you can show him and, start getting his beats ready to start submitting. So, I mean, that's a great question. That's a great question, though. Now, Dean Miller, shout out to my homie Dean Miller. What producers inspired Big Kev? Man, to be honest, I'm inspired by, I like Timbaland. You know what I'm saying? Hands down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, hands down, I like Timbaland. I mean, what else can I say? I love Timbaland's music. I like Polo the Don. I'm a fan of Dark Child, Rodney Jerkins. I mean, he's crazy. I like what Boy Wonder doing, Hit Boy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I like a lot of what, different producers are doing, but my go-to producers, my favorite three, I would say Dark Child, probably Dr. Dre, because of his sonics and how he puts together music, and Timbaland. That's probably my three top. You know what I'm saying? Now, for producers that just joined, I'm seeing producers still jumping on this thing. For producers that just joined, I created Beatmaking Secrets. All you got to do is go to the showcase folder. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hammer you with sales or none of that type of stuff. I want to make sure that you get that info because I share it with you exactly what I'm showing you through listening to these beats, how to create these transitions, how to create these beat patterns, how to create these drum patterns, how to arrange your beats, how to play the piano. And you know, I have a few videos in there. So, you know, go and get that. It's in the showcase folder. Shout out to all the producers that's got it. I keep saying that, but I mean, I'm just humbled by all the producers that invest in themselves, man. So, you know, let's see what it is. Let's see what other questions we got, man. Completely different from everything, man. Okay. Okay, I like this question. The Milky 13 Smooth says, Kev, what are your thoughts on simplicity versus complicated? You know what? Honestly, I like simplicity. I like simplicity and I like complicated. So, you know, like sometimes, I mean, there's going to be tracks where you make them that they're going to be crazy simple. You know what I'm saying? Some tracks you're going to make that are not going to, you know, really be too complicated, and other people are gonna hear them and they're gonna be like, oh, this is the dopest thing I ever heard. And in your production mind, you're gonna say, well, that's so simple. Now, my biggest example is DJ Mustard. DJ Mustard is showing producers right now that you can have your beats be super simple and still make hits. You know what I'm saying? So what do I think about simple versus complicated? Simple makes hits. Complicated makes hits too. But right now, simple is winning. So that's what I think about simple versus complicated. But, you know, as a music producer, you know, you'll know when you have too much in the beat. You will know. You will know when you have too much in the beat. And you'll also know when you don't have enough in the beat. Okay, so that's my answer on that. So, okay, Julian Johnson said he got a guaranteed heater. Now, let me see if I listen to your beat, because okay, I'm still getting beats in. Let me go back to the beats. Now, I said I was going to be gone a long time ago, man. But like I said, I love y'all, man. I mean, I love doing this, man. So let's see what it is. Kavon White, I think I already listened to one of your beats, but I'm going to listen to another one. Let's see what it do. Yo, straight up, Kavon White, man. I mean, you know, listening to the beat over here, man, that thing banging. I mean, it's definitely banging. You know what I'm saying? You definitely know what you're doing. It's banging. That was a certified banger. I mean, you know, I always preach getting creative, and you know, make sure that you get creative and constantly get creative and just constantly get creative. But that's a certified banger, like, you know, straight up. I mean, I like everything that you did within that track. It sounds big. It got that anthem feel. You know what I'm saying? I like what you did on that, man. I like what you did. So we're getting ready to really end it for real this time. Let me see if we got any more beats over here, but we're getting ready to end it for real this time. Okay, Mac E want another shot. Let me see. Okay, since you're still here, here's one more. Okay, well, let's see what it do, Mac E. of all, I think the intro was a little bit too long. You know what I'm saying? The intro was a little bit too long, but I like your instrumentation, brother. I really like that instrumentation. That's what I'm talking about. You know, those violins and those strings, like, I mean, it sounded like a movie, man. And what you played after that, when the beat came in, your drums was banging. I like the bass, the way you know, I like everything that you did in that, bro. I like everything that you did in that, man. So, you know, keep doing what you're doing, man. You definitely understand. I can tell you've been making beats for a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? You definitely understand what it is, because that was a banger. That was a banger. That was a banger. Okay, so now I'm done with listening to the music. Let me tackle a few more questions. If you got any more questions, ask them now. If you haven't got your hands on Beat Making Secrets, remember, I show you how any producer that's having any of these problems. If you have problems with transitions, if you have problems with beat beat arrangements, arranging your beats, if you have problems with drum patterns, stacking drums, if you want to learn how to play the piano and you want to see my hands, different chords showing you how to play the piano, I put together this in the showcase folder. Go and grab that. Again, shout out to all the producers that grabbed that, because, you know, I mean, man, you know, I love that. And what's crazy is, you know what, tonight, we've been hearing some bangers tonight, man. We've been hearing some bangers. So shout out to all the music producers, man, because we've been hearing some bangers. Like, it's been some man, y'all been submitting some heat. I'm gonna go back in this email and listen to a few of these tracks to get inspired, because a lot of y'all done really inspired me tonight, man. Like for real. Like, you know, I get inspired too. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all done really inspired me, man. A lot of y'all done really inspired me tonight. So let me see, Elijah Stroud. Shout out to Elijah Stroud, man. He active, man. He active in the community, man. So I bet a lot of people are trying to mix with headphones. Mixing with headphones can give a wrong perception because the music is directly shot into your ear. And I found that to be definitely true. But at the same time, it's kind of a give and a take. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes if you got the right set of earphones and you listen through the earphones and mix, because now I can get a great mix through my earphones, but it took a while for me to get there. Like, when I first started doing that, I mean, I would listen in the studio, everything would sound great. Then I take it in my car and everything was too loud. But I've mastered my set of earphones. So as long as you master your set of earphones and your ears are tuned to the highs and the lows and the mids in your earphones, you can get a good mix from, you know, a set of earphones. But you're absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? Another good thing for, you know, mixing is, coming back to your mix the next day too. You know, listening to your mix the next day, because you always hear something that you can do better. So let me answer one more question, man, and then we out of here. I'm gonna go and eat, smash on something real quick. Okay, here go a question. Zeke Walton. How long have you been playing the piano, and how important is learning music theory? Well, I've been playing the piano for, I mean, man, at least 10 to 15 years. But see, I play in multiple churches right now. So think about what I'm doing. See, I'm always learning new church songs and new things that I can always bring back to my music production. So it's the same thing as, you know, if you're looking to play the piano, Zeke, matter of fact, shout out to Zeke, man. Zeke been messing with me for a minute. You know, Zeke been a part of the community for a minute. And, you know, shout out to Zeke, man. Zeke by loops and everything, man. Zeke is a definitely a supporter in the community. So shout out to you, Zeke. But if you're looking to play the piano, I have a piano section within the course, Beat Making Secrets. So if you don't have that, make sure that you got that. But how important is learning music theory? I don't really think music theory is that important. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're creating music. Music theory is something that you can come back to. It's good to know. It's good to, you know, come back to later on if you want to have that knowledge. But I found that a lot of music theory put me to sleep, like straight up. You know, when I was in the classes, college, learning music theory, I had a teacher when I was in college that he would teach music theory, but he wasn't really tripping on me knowing music theory. All he wanted me to do, as long as I came to the next class and played the drums for him, he was gonna give me an A. So in music theory, I was kind of sitting back, like I wasn't even answering I wasn't doing no test right or nothing. I mean, I'm not gonna say no test right, but music theory for me just bored me. It didn't help my music career. Like I play the piano and I still can't tell you the names of chords that I'm playing. Some music producers can tell you like, oh, that's a major 7th flat 9th, or I can't tell you that. I can literally play anything that I hear, anything. No matter what that is, I can play anything that I hear. So, you know, let's see what other questions you got, baby. What other questions you got? Big homie's still on here, man. I was supposed to be gone, but I'm still on here. Let's see. Daniel Hawkins, what's the schedule for your hangout? Basically, the schedule right now is, right now we do one every Friday. If you do not get an email inviting you to the hangout, then that means something came up on that Friday. But we're working it to do it every Friday. And, you know, so invite every producer you know. We're going to have some guests coming on. I've confirmed, you know, I've talked to a few of my producer homies, and we got some guests coming on for you. But it got to work with their schedule, too. You know, Fridays is a big studio night for a lot of major music producers. So, you know, it's, you know, I mean, you know, I'm dealing with that. I actually had one producer that was getting ready to come on tonight, but he had another session. So the schedule is really from 7 to 8. That's how long originally we were supposed to be on here, from 7 to 8. But I love doing this. Like, literally, I love doing this. I can sit up and do this for the next 20 hours, like, literally. Of course, I ain't going to be on here for 20 hours tonight, but, you know, I mean, I love doing this. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. So now what I want to do is I want to play a track for you. I want to play a track. Now, this particular track is very simple. It's very simple, but it breaks down, and the melody is pretty much the same, but the transition goes to a totally different place. The transition goes to a totally different place. And I want you to pay attention to how, even though the melody is the same, every 8 bars builds. Every 8 bars. So that intro is probably a little long too. So the beat is constantly building, right? I added the bass in there. Now for the transition. Okay, and see, like, that was a track that all I did in that track was I took some instruments out and had the instruments going, and then I took some instruments out, and, you know, what I did was I started the intro out, then I had it going right to the butt naked bear part of the verse. Then I added the bass to build it up, and then after that, then I took it to another transition, and then it comes right back to, you know, another part. So that's it for the night, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I listened to everybody's beats in this email. Literally everybody's beats that was in here. Well, not everybody. Well, you know, and then I still got beats coming in. So I listened to everybody's beats that I could, and I'm done with the beats for the night. So again, music producers, I created, go to the showcase folder if you haven't done it. Again, shout out to all the music producers that's got it. I appreciate you. That's the reason we do this, is for you to get to the next level. Appreciate you investing in yourself. Make sure that you're here next week for another hangout, live hangout. Postman will be back next week. He had actually a big appointment tonight that he had to go to. So shout out to the homie Postman. You know, he missed it tonight, but, you know, Postman will be back next week. Be here next week. And remember this. Remember this. Music producers, you can do this, man. You can do this. You will do this. Repeat to yourself every day, I'm a successful music producer. I'm a successful music producer. Don't ask yourself, how is this going to work out? Ask yourself, how can I make this work? What do I need to know to make this work? Because it's never what you know that's hurting you. It's never what you know. It's what you don't know that's hurting you. What you don't know has you where you are right now. And I created this Beat Making Secrets. So if you don't know something in there, you can get over that. You can get to the next level. So if you don't got that, get that Beat Making Secrets. I'll see you next week. Shout out to everybody. Love y'all, man. Peace, blessings. Peace.